Welcome to Epicenter, the hub of innovation in the heart of Helsinki, where ideas come to life and creativity thrives, where innovation meets community. Get ready to learn, network, and make an impact. Let's go.
Okay, let us go. You know what they told me? They said, Joey, no one would come on a Friday. And I spent the whole week worrying that they were true. Then the numbers kept rising, and I know that the reason why we're all here today is to hear some inspiring stories from four brilliant entrepreneurs. But I see a lot of familiar faces, and so starting to talk more and more about myself is starting to feel more and more unwarranted, because you guys know me already. But if you don't, my name is Joey. I'm the community manager here at Epicenter Helsinki. And I'm so happy to see you all, like I mentioned, on a Friday. So Epicenter, as we know, is a playground. It is a meeting arena where we work toward our vision to help innovative hotspots supercharge their local entrepreneurial ecosystems. We support this by creating a physical place where networking, knowledge, and collaboration act as a platform for the acceleration of innovation and growth. Right? Okay. With this, we help our community members to create the workspace of the future. And that means that we're all here today to share ideas, to learn and grow. And so we have a tradition, right? You guys are all familiar. I see heads nodding. I see hands already ready to be where they're supposed to be. So for the beginning of every community event, for the first 10 seconds, we take that opportunity to clap for ourselves. And mostly it's just for you. It has nothing to do with me. That was a slow burn. I've been workshopping that one. When you do 5 of these a month, you have to figure out new ways to be funny. Okay, so let's take the first 10 seconds and clap for ourselves. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! There we go. It's Friday. My colleagues won't be pissed at me that they're hangover tomorrow and that they have to come to work. Okay, today we have brought together 4 trailblazing entrepreneurs, each from a different generation, defying age stereotypes and proving that innovation knows no bounds. You can look forward to an awe-inspiring fusion of wisdom, youth, and creativity as our speakers demonstrate that age is merely a state of mind when it comes to revolutionizing the world. From a 14-year-old prodigy to our seasoned 58-year-old pro, you experience firsthand that great ideas can come from anyone at any stage of life. So, grab a drink, settle in, as we celebrate the unbreakable spirit of entrepreneurship across the generations. Are we ready? Yes. All right. So, one word that I always mention. Shocker, I'm not Finnish. So that means that we're all going to be on a first-name basis. I was Joey, and our first speaker is a 14-year-old entrepreneur from Helsinki. At just 12 years old, Jalmari started his entrepreneurship journey as a pro esports player. Since then, he has been involved in many innovative projects and companies, from sales bookings to AI marketing, even exploring the metaverse and Web3. I don't want to tell too much of his story, because that's what he's here for, but please, let's give a huge hand from Jalmari, who's the founder of Team Quilty and the Quilty Marketing Agency. Welcome. Thank you, sir. And this is for you.
Thanks. Do you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, thanks. This is actually my first speech in any event, public event. So thanks for the opportunity for Epicenter and Choye for my first event. I'm Jalmari. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm the CEO, co-founder, and board member of Team Quilty, Quilty Marketing Agency, and Aurora. My first company that I actually founded was Team Quilty. Team Quilty's first vision was honestly bring club activities in esports for young players. So kind of to connect all the gamers among Finland to play together. But as from there, I have made some progress the innovative sides. So we have started making the world's first esports platform for social gaming. And there I have been working for 2 years as a chief executive officer and a founder and board member. And it's actually getting published this year in November. So stay tuned for that. Secondly, after that, I would say 5 months ago, I founded my first marketing agency. We call it Good. It's actually connected to the esports startup I founded. But here we go. It's actually the most unique, fastest growing and youthful full stack TikTok marketing in Finland. We're working, for example, with Sole, the biggest solar panel company in Finland. Liike Nyt, Jaltsarkimo. Some Finnish people may know this political party and the person from there. Skibisted, Oikotie, Tori, Rakenta.fi. They're also quite famous for Finnish people at least. And then Strongest Rope, that maybe some of you have also heard of. From there, my, let's say, latest inventory would be Overora. This is actually what I founded in this week on Monday. It was published on Monday. It's the first official platform for artificial intelligence which combines all the softwares, bots and tools from AI to the same app, usable only from one app with only 1 monthly plan and account. So you don't need like 10 accounts with that passwords you don't remember, paying hundreds of euros every month. You need just one place, and that's actually grown so well that we have at the moment in this week 100 paying members there. Yeah. I could actually ask it when I came here to tell a little bit what made me to become an entrepreneur at a young age. I don't really have any response for that, but I would say that when I was around 11 years old, like you can see from here, I was a pro player. I got really interested to gaming. I was playing tens of hours every day. My mom hated it, but I did it anyway. I became so good at it at a young age because I was pissed that my friends were better than me. So I started, on every evening, like at 5 a.m. in the morning, even grinding Fortnite, like you can see from there. I sadly got on a better big tour on my phone. And it went so well that I got represented in Koulainen. It's like the young people's own magazine, kind of famous, maybe some of you know. And then I got recruited by the biggest esports organization in Finland, Visu Gaming, to their team as their first pro player and content creator. And that made me kind of to start my entrepreneurship journey, as I got to see personally the owners of Visu Gaming. They were always teaching me about business, entrepreneurship, marketing. They were really good at it, and it kind of made me think the way that, hey, I know marketing, I have my own brand, I stream it on Twitch for thousands of viewers every day. I was playing in Visu Gaming, knowing all the biggest influencers from Finland, and it actually made me, in gaming, thinking that what I want in life, like more than gaming, just, I want to experience the real life. And actually kind of sadly, but also kind of well, I stopped playing games, and it transformed me to entrepreneurship. So I every day kind of thank gaming and esports that it made me become an entrepreneur. Because without gaming, I would still probably playing like FIFA in my like sofa, drinking Coca-Cola like you can see, and I think I have made some progress. But my story simply, wait, sorry, yeah, oh shit, wait, yeah, 7 in my first time. So my story simply, I come from Fanta. Some people don't like it from Finland. I understand. Me nature, but for me, it was always that what I loved was innovations and inventions. For me, it was really weird to think like, oh, you go like to just do basic stuff, play football. I always was thinking like me walking around like in Helsinki, like, oh, maybe this company would be like better with this way. We could maybe build like this big house to there, the big new Finnish parliament and so on. And it kind of bring it to me the gaming part, and from there I hopped into entrepreneurship. So the easiest way, like the quickest way to explain why I became an entrepreneur as well, was simply that I wasn't never like fine with things being average or basic or like boring. So I always want to think outside the box. And many CEOs, what I've met, always like ask me why I do it this way, something that I do. Because, I always want to do something changefully, and that's what I've done my full life. Some people haven't liked it, definitely, but it's fine for me. And as a young entrepreneur, it has brought me some good problems. Like we target with Veti, there's been always like big problems with young entrepreneurs, mainly in Finland. To be honest, Finland is kind of chillest country. People probably don't like you too much. People want to focus on their own lives. They don't actually care about you. That's just honest fact about Finland, even when I like Finland. So I have been in 100 meetings at least at a young age, talking with CEOs, marketing managers, and so on. Always when I have came to the room, even like yesterday, people like look at me like this can't be serious, and it's not positive way. It's mainly like people think like, oh man, like guy is wasting my time. Some little kid, But even when I have always had this like thing that I had to prove myself to be someone, it has always worked happily. It's sometimes like this, like where they say it, some guys not believing like what you do, like thinking you're wasting time, pull up like boom, you pull up the references, like big companies you're working with, and then are like, okay, take my money. So, so it has worked with this way, definitely. And like at this stage, this 10 minutes, I could talk like for hundreds of hours of my story, but if someone wants to hear something more from what I do, we can talk definitely here. I will be here definitely. So to kind of really show what I have done at my young age, around 3 years of entrepreneurship, I actually started at 12 and I'm at the moment 14, turning 15 soon. My own exhibition point, like an event space in the biggest esports event in Finland, Assembly Summer 2022. I was at this big tour like 12 years old or 30 years old, I'm not actually fully sure. I got my first partner space there. We had this for Team Kuilty, and some of you may recognize this guy, Sani Leino. He's like definitely the biggest sales guys in Finland. And that was definitely a crazy experience for me, having like an own event space with real partners, hundreds of people coming to visit me. And that was a really good start. That made me bring it that we are working with my marketing agency with the biggest businesses and personal brands with TikTok marketing in Finland. From some there you can see our client Charles Harkimo, some of our team, some of our influencers from TikTok. And from there we have also scaled my marketing agency to over 10 team members. We have 10 employees on my payroll. We have an office in Jätkäsaari and now a new one in Valdila. We have the 10 or over 10 Finland's biggest companies as clients. We have the Finland's 2023 best organic marketing results, 31 million we have seen under 120 days for one of our clients, and biggest influencer marketing campaigns in Finland, Done, with around 20 influencers in the same week. There you can also see a little picture. It doesn't maybe show too much, but anyways, my first big partnerships I closed probably when I was 12. Some of you guys maybe recognize Tool, Assembly, or Stickit. These were like the biggest things for when I was like 13 years old. Thinking that, I can personally close partnership deals, do amazing things, be in events, have my own clothing brand, work with like government-supported companies with making events, offering club activities for young players. And I have also had the chance as an under 14 years old person to work in many companies. Lintrus, the biggest watch reseller in Finland. Meta Dynasty is one of the biggest metaverse companies in the world. Scalec, one of the biggest e-tech consultants in the world. And Strong Scope, like maybe some of you have seen from LinkedIn. There's some good ones from Tommy Tolonen. I think he was speaking here like a week ago as well. Overall, this is also one of definitely the biggest ones, as this week we published this actually on Monday. We got our first people sign up on Tuesday. We have scaled it in under 1 week to 100 paid users, which bring us 5,000 euros a month. Scale it, and I actually want to even mention about Overora. If you guys got any time, go check out overora.com. It's technically the platform that combines all the AI tools, softwares, and platforms in one place, in one account, and on one software. So definitely an innovation that haven't never been in the world before. But this is not definitely all theft. Definitely come talk me if you want to hear something specific or some good stories I got, because, you know, I've been walking to the Finnish parliament like at this sized git, you know, meeting Jalis Harkimo and many others. And I'm at the moment actually considering many interesting projects, from worldwide expansion to really huge upcoming projects. But anyways, as I have 10 minutes, I will say now thank you for my first event and listening to me around, actually a little bit over 10 minutes. So thank you.
Hey. Stay on the stage with me for 1 second.
Okay, yeah.
Come on, right? Hey, listen, if entrepreneurship doesn't work, I think you have a career in comedy.
Yeah.
You had me going over there for a little bit. All right, hey, so at each of these events, I like to come on stage and ask really important questions.
Yeah.
And they usually scare people. So we're going to start. Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you can only choose one of these games. The rest has to disappear forever.
Yeah.
All right, do you save Fortnite,
Yeah.
Rocket League, or Valorant?
Well, for me nowadays, I would say Valorant.
Okay, so the rest are done.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right, awesome. Hey, let's give a huge round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hard-hitting questions from me. Okay. So the next person I'd like to invite to the stage is actually the inspiration for this whole event. We met a few months ago at one of our community events, and I just thought that he was too cool to not bring on stage. So we had a lunch. We brought our minds together and we came up with this idea. He is a 20-year-old entrepreneur, engineer, and software developer. He has always had a passion for designing and developing products. He started his first startup company at the age of 17 with high school friends. I have more about that, but I feel like you're going to talk about that during your story. So please help me welcome to the stage Vetti, who's a full-stack developer and founder at Sawsoft.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much.
You, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, this idea has come a long way. Thank you very much for all of you showing up. Yeah. Well, like you saw, my name is Veeti Roponen. I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur. I'm the CTO and co-founder of my company, Sawsoft, which I run with a few of my very best friends, actually, who you'll hear a little bit more about. Now, I'm also a software engineer. I'm a really passionate entrepreneur. I love everything that I get to do on a daily basis. It's something that I like live and breathe. I have a lot of energy. You might see that today. But I'm also a automation and robotics student at the University of Aalto, so there's a lot to cover. But yeah, today I'll be diving deeper into my journey as an entrepreneur, because I believe that like listening to other people's stories is something that like, at least I found you will inevitably gain something from, or at least I myself have really gained a lot from hearing people's mentoring and stories, how they did something, how they pulled like those $1 million successes off, right? But, you know, my journey hasn't been that long yet, 3 or so years. I haven't had those $1 million successes yet, but I still think that, you know, listening to other people might, you know, get someone inspired or get them to figure something out that they haven't yet. So, yeah, this is my journey of entrepreneurship and continuous learning. We started our company back in 2019. It was a while ago already. And before that, I'd always been like a tech geek. I've played around with like computers and Lego and all that stuff since I was a kid, and I always felt like I needed something in my life to like do, like concretely do, because I've always like I played around with stuff, tried things out, but I never had like a thing for myself that I could say that this is what I do and this is what I am. And at around 16, I started taking programming a little bit more seriously. I had played around with like Java and Python and all these fun things, made some little scripts every now and then, but once I found JavaScript, things kind of took off. I started making like websites, mobile applications, something that people can like touch and, you know, wield in a way, you know, physical, you know, more physical things than, you know, abstract scripts and whatever. And I started feeling like this is something really fun. I really enjoyed like designing stuff, user interfaces, products, things that make like people's daily lives more efficient, better, you know, just optimizing stuff, which is something I really enjoy. And I did that at around 16 in Finnish high school, lukio, upper secondary school, whatever you call it. And by random chance, around that time, I was in the hallway walking, and I hear someone talking about founding a company. And I look like this, I'm like, companies? I've heard about those, I've seen them everywhere, but I don't have one. And that sounds cool, so I just want to say, sorry, like, did you say company? And my future co-founder, and actually one of my really like greatest friends, Janus Joenpolvi, said like, yeah, we're setting up a company. Do you want to join? And I was like, whatever you're doing, please let me. And that's, where it all started. My friend Miro had this idea for that. Well, not then, my future friend Miro had an idea for this mobile game. It was an adventure game set in the city of Helsinki where you could go around the town finding clues and winning real-life prizes. So you could get like, I don't know, like Red Bull, whatever we had on the sponsorship menu at that time. And, when we started that, we were really like, we're going to make a game, we're going to get everyone in the school involved, it's going to be the best thing ever. Well, we didn't really think about the business model for that much because, we just wanted to make a game. We were kind of young then and all that. So business-wise, it wasn't like the best idea, but we still went really hard on it. We got some coders who are actually still with us today, some of the smartest people I've ever met, but we got them on board, we built this app, and then we basically started getting demos, asking people how it feels and everything, doing all this like testing. We tried to learn like basically how to build apps at the same time because none of us had really done it before. We were like, we did small things, small websites, but the whole fully fledged app on Android, iOS, complicated thing. So basically, we started doing that, and somehow we were able to like get it going, working actually. We held a demo day and everything at our school. And we actually also won the 2019 4-H Youth Business Competition with it. We were really excited. We got some money in the bank, a few grand. We were able to pay off those server costs, which were kind of a pain when you're like, 16, you don't work, and you're sort of, how are you going to handle those? And then, we were actually after that, even more incredible thing, which was we were able to apply the QS Accelerator as the youngest team ever, and we actually got in, and we just couldn't believe our eyes. Some alumni here probably today, and we actually couldn't believe it because we were like in this group of people who are like all adults. And I remember like one of the first events we went to, and it was like I went up to someone and I'm like, oh yeah, Veetina, what do you do? And they're like, yeah, I'm like a medical eye doctor or something. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in high school, how are you doing, And then it was kind of scary at start, but we did the program, and we sort of we just went through the program. It was really great. We were like able to like talk to so many incredible like founders and people in the community there, and we just wanted to be like knowledge sponges, soak up everything they like had, because we were like we just want to know as much as we can, because we're still young. We had this app and we sort of don't know how to code, but like sort of the business end of things is kind of not looking too good, and we want to know more about that. So we took like 20 meetings with different mentors and rebooked their time. Probably annoyed them a little bit too much, but we were young and everyone wants to help young people, so we got a lot of mentorship. We learned a lot of things through that program, which otherwise we wouldn't have at all. And then after we hosted that demo day I was talking about, we had like 700 people at our school. I don't have the slides today, but it was a really cool picture of like the whole school in the grand hall playing our game, and we got some data. We had this thing where they adventure around the school, and it was like the best day ever. And we sort of realized then, at that point, once we've got the mentorship for the business models and all that, that okay, this is really hard to turn into a profitable venture. So we played around with the numbers and the Excel sheets and just figured out that okay, this is going to be really hard and it's going to require millions of dollars of funding to actually properly do. So we were kind of sad because we were realistic, and we thought okay, this might not be the thing. We need to figure out something else. And then we figured out, okay, we're young. What do all young people do in their free time? Social media. So we were like, okay, we're going to do our social media thing. It's going to be really cool because it's by young people for young people, and it's going to be what we want. So then we were off to our second startup venture, even though we were kind of sad that we just had this whole app. We built it all ourselves, cool features and all this, and then people just, didn't replay it. There was no retention. And we were really sad that we couldn't continue it, but at the same time we were really happy because we found out something that we liked to do, and we got to do it, and we saw that there, even though this time we didn't make it, there's always a next time. And then the next time was we pivoted to a social media application called Boogie, which was a location-based social media, like a hyper-local social media, where people could post like video challenges online, participate in them, and win real-life awards again from them. And during the rest of the QS program, we basically we pivoted, we built the whole thing, MVP, everything sorted. We launched a social media campaign at the same time, and we were able to get I think it was over 8,000 followers in less than 2 months by just posting funny videos of us doing like coding our app, our day-to-day lives, like being young startup founders, and we were able to leverage that audience to sort of get 1,400 users into our app in the first couple of weeks, and we got some really great data from that, like test beta we did at the one summer, and it was really incredible to see like the numbers just go up every day in the hundreds, and like, this is incredible, like how is this possible? Like we thought like it's gonna be the same thing again with like Boogie and Hunter, which was our previous product, but yeah, it worked out really well. We got some good data. Then up next was something that we later conquered, but that's getting an investment. It was a next big thing. We needed to like compete with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all these other social media apps. So we needed the video editor, we needed the AR filters, we needed everything like that. So like 20 coders in the house to make all this stuff, which was just we could have done it, but there was too many things to work on. Like once it kicked off. So we tried to apply for some funding, but nobody was really crazy enough to like hop on board like a couple of 18-year-old guys making a social media app in Finland. So that was, we tried, but it was okay. We got some good feedback, but unfortunately like we couldn't secure the funding, and that was okay because also we had another thing in life coming up to us in the face that was like, we basically didn't go to high school almost at all. We just, we built our apps and had fun together and, sat at the back of class doing pitch decks and whatever. So we didn't really study for the exams, and we realized during that time when the founding round started to like stretch out a little bit, that we really need to like succeed also in like education, because it's important to get into university and, get smarter and learn more things and meet more people who are also smart. So we decided that, okay, because of that, we're gonna like focus on school for a while now, since we sort of loaned that time from when we were building the mobile apps and the games and stuff. So we did school, we got into university, and right after that, obviously in Finland we had the Finnish military conscription coming up, so we did that as well, which put us offline for like another year as well. And during the military it was pretty rough, because military and all that, but at the same time, I couldn't keep my mind off one thing, and that was like, what are we gonna do next? Okay, our social media with Hunter, Boogie, and all this kind of died. Okay, no problems. Next thing again. We gotta do the next thing. It's what we iterate, we continue our path, and let's figure out the next thing. So what I did was I looked into more technologies, I programmed more, I tried to learn more design, programming technologies, and at the same time, looking into like operations of like how different startups and SaaS companies work, how they've been like founded in a way, what made the original founders like come up with the applications, and how they managed to be successful in their domain of knowledge. And at one point we realized with Janus and Miro, we realized that okay, something ironic happened, which was when we pitched the Boogie social media app to one of our mentors, he basically he looked at it like the same way he looked at like Hunter. It was like this, and he was like, okay, guys, you seriously just need to stop making these goddamn game apps and start earning some money. And we were like, okay, maybe it's time to do that. So basically, then after that, we looked into a lot of the technologies and how things work in the SaaS world, properly. And we realized, okay, we have coders here, which we managed to get for our previous projects. So how about we just together start building products for other people, now that we sort of like went the hard way of building a couple of products and learned all about how the business models and everything works. So that's what we started doing. As soon as we got out of there, the military, we started building products for other people. We had a great network of like SaaS companies in our LinkedIn and all that, because we had been like in all the events and stuff like that during our startup days. Then we got some customers right off the bat. It was super amazing. Like the start was really fast. We got like kind of ahead of the curve there in the beginning, and we were able to get some really good projects in the beginning, like started off strong, and we started growing our company, making good processes happen, got more mentoring from other founders who've done the same sort of software development consultancy that we do now. And that's what we do now. But, our ideas have changed quite a lot, as you might have noticed during the couple of years. But there's been a couple of things that like stick with us since almost the beginning. And that's like the mindset we had is like, okay, we won't give up, because like we think that with like this group of people we just work together for ourselves and like to the whole group. So we work together to try to succeed, not only for ourselves but for the whole group as well. So we work together sincerely to not only succeed personally, but succeed as a group of people, because we have this incredible team of like business people and also programmers who are really talented. And we just have to like find the right thing, and again, third try, the charm, probably, hopefully, we'll see. And we try to do that right now with this current idea. So it's sort of been this like philosophy through the whole way that we work together, not only for ourselves, but the whole group, because that way we're stronger together. And yeah, and we sort of saw that it's quite, important for this type of situation we have. Like, we go to university, we study, we have a lot of clients, we have to keep up to date with everything that's going on, precisely because, people's products are on the line, right? We have to build them. So it's been really important that like our founder relationship is really on a solid foundation, that we can trust that everybody pulls their weight regardless of the situation and helps the other people out in case of that need. And not that like, if I do something for Janus, it's not like Janus thinks like, oh, I got him to do something, and I don't have to do as much work as I have to, but it's more like, okay, I'm helping him so that he can help me at the time, and we can all succeed together. And it's this like nice like community of people who are just trying to build cool stuff. And yeah, that's basically what we do right now. So we build the mobile apps, the websites, the cloud computing solutions, UI designs for other people. And yeah, we're really glad that we can work with so many incredible people nowadays. It's been quite cool to see, because we get to see sort of behind the curtain in different industries, whatever it might be. And we get to work with amazing people who've come up with like products from like R to B, research backgrounds, business to business backgrounds, B2C backgrounds. We sort of get to see like in detail and more closely how it actually works also behind the scenes, and not just through mentoring and stuff like that. So yeah, we're more hungry than ever to build more cool stuff. And that's basically the story so far. Thank you for listening.
Hey, let's give a huge round of applause. Stay on stage.
Yeah.
It's not easy being the inspiration of an event, right? So please, another huge round of applause. All right.
Thanks.
So as you saw earlier, I like the hard-hitting questions. Right?
Yeah.
So would you rather swim with sharks or skydive?
Definitely skydive. Like, I'm afraid of heights, so it might be a bit difficult, but like sharks are kind of deadly. Definitely skydive.
So is falling out of a plane. But
give
him a huge round of applause. Yeah. Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.
All right, we're going to keep the momentum going here. Our next guest is a 47-year-old founder who knows the world of communication, technology, and marketing. During the past 20 years, she has gained extensive insight into numerous aspects of communication and marketing, and has been responsible for internal and external activities, from strategic planning to practical execution. Please help me welcome to the stage Aino, who's the CEO and founder of Aivila. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this is for you.
Nice to see you people. So many friendly faces there. I'm really happy to be here tonight. Joey asked me to be raw and authentic, and that's what I'm intending to do. I'm going to share with you some of my deepest, darkest insecurities tonight. So I hope that you'll come along and pay attention to my story. Sorry. At first, I would like to invite you to join me on a memory lane. Let's travel together back to March 2018. Today, I'm a founder of my own communications agency. March 2018, I was a communications consultant employed by another communications agency, and I was really terrified. I was scared. I was almost scared to death. And the reason why I was scared was because I had decided to establish my own business. On that day, March 2018, I had decided to become an entrepreneur. And it was something that I had really dreamed about, dreamed of for about over 20 years. I started thinking that I'll be a freelance journalist already back in the 90s, at the 1999. When I was studying at the university, I was doing some freelance jobs. I thought, this is my path. I will be a freelance journalist. This is the way I will support myself. But then the life carried on, And I never ended up being an entrepreneur until over 20 years later. So this is me. On March 2018, I had made the decision. There's not a really fancy story behind my decision. Why did I want to become entrepreneur exactly at that time? It's very pragmatic. It's very practical. I was employed by another communications agency, and I was working here in the Helsinki city center. But I was living in Kirkkonummi, which is about 45 kilometers away from Helsinki. And I was commuting to work every day, and it took me 1 hour and 15 minutes to get to work. So that means almost 2.5 hours of commuting to work. That was a long time. It was a big part of my day. And then I started wondering, I could as well just do the job at home, at the home office. So why do I need to travel every day to the office and spend all this time in the bus? So that was a very pragmatic reason behind my decision why I started negotiating with my employer that I would really like to employ myself. I'd like to be your subcontractor. And that's what I did. During the first year of my entrepreneurship, I was mainly serving the clients of my former employers, of the other communications agency. But then when I had made the decision, I was feeling very insecure. I was almost convinced that I'll end up in bankruptcy. It was really horrible for somebody who had always played it safe, played it sure. Long story short, I didn't end up in bankruptcy. My agency is still alive today. I'm now supported by 12 talented communications and marketing professionals. We are an ecosystem of independent business owners. And together we are serving clients of my company. We are serving our clients in different areas of media relations, communications and marketing. We do content marketing. We help them in social media. We have clients in the areas of software programming and also in the areas of retail, so in many different areas. And it's been good business. Our annual sales have been a bit above 200,000 euros each year, which is okay, considering that officially this is a one-ladies consultancy. So I should have known, back at the time in March 2018 when I was feeling so scared, I had been in the business for a long time. I started my career in Helsingin Sanomat in year 2000, and I was working as financial journalist for 5 years. And then I became employed by other corporations. I moved into corporate communications. I took on one position after another one. I was leading communications and marketing functions of multinational companies. And then after the career of internal communications, then I moved on to becoming a consultant. I was working in 2 PR agencies before having my own. So I had a bulletproof business idea. I know it's working. There are a lot of companies today, there were a lot of companies yesterday, there will be a lot of companies needing support in communications. They need support because the digital era is like the media space is so full. There are so many players grabbing the attention of the consumers. There are so many voices, there's so much noise. So our clients need support in making their voice heard. They need support in building relationships with journalists, and that's what we are good at. So I knew this all. I had been working in communications agencies. I had been managing accounts successfully, multinational clients successfully. I had been doing sales for a couple of years successfully. Nevertheless, I was scared. I was terrified. And the reason why I was so scared, and this is a very crucial reason, this is the reason why I was in a totally different position compared to Veeti or Jalmari. The reason is that I had some other commitments. When I decided to become an entrepreneur, I was 42, and my children were 14 and 11. And we had a huge mortgage. My husband is working in the public sector. So we are not able to live on his salary only. And when they say that once you become an entrepreneur, it's like a jump into nowhere, because living life as an entrepreneur, there is nothing secure about it. And when I was at the age of Jalmari, when I was 14, my parents were working in the public sector, and they had always told me, the only way to be is to have a fixed income. If you have fixed expenses, you need to have a fixed income. And there I was considering really insecure life, having no guarantee of salary. So I was thinking about the situations that if I become an entrepreneur and I'm not making income, do I need to tell my daughter, you have to stop figure skating classes because mom's not making any money? Or if I won't succeed, do I need to tell my son, you have to quit the other club because mom's not earning any salary? And my biggest nightmare was about our house, because we had a big mortgage. So I was thinking, do we one day need to sell the house? And these were the kind of fears I was tackling. So it's a completely different situation when you decide to jump when you are at the age of 42 and when you have a family. Because when you are jumping, you are pulling your loved ones with you. Nevertheless, I think I had 3 crucial resources why I did succeed and why it was exactly the right time for me to become an entrepreneur at the age of 42 compared to the time when I was 20 and I was dreaming of being a freelance journalist. And the greatest resource was my network, my connections. I had been in the business, I had had a career of 20 years in corporate communications. I had been working with these bright, talented people in 8 companies. I had been employed by 8 companies before having my own business. And my colleagues were all over. They were brilliant, talented, ambitious people. They were decision makers when I made the choice of having my own business. They are my clients now. We used to work together. They know the way I work, so they are happy to support me. They are happy to employ me now. So my network, my connections are one of the greatest resources. And also the experience that I have now. If I had made the choice of being an entrepreneur at my 20s, it would have been as easy because at the age of 42, I had experience of successful client projects. I had experience of winning the sales, reaching the targets, reaching the goals. So, and then also, since my clients are usually communications managers, communications directors, marketing directors, I had been in the positions. I know their pains. It's a different perspective. I can look through the world, like through their eyes, because I can say, I've been there, I've done that. I know the way to get there. I know the way to get you out of this situation. So the experience is really great resource for serving clients in positions like that. And then also related to experience, great resource is the confidence that I have now. As you probably have noticed, I'm not the most confident person. I have a lot of insecurities. But today, since I have experience from all those successful projects, and I also have different experience. Like I've made some really embarrassing mistakes. And all that experience, all those experiences bring me different kind of confidence compared to the person that I was when I was at my 20s. So I feel like today, I remember one day I was being served by a communications consultant. She was trying to sell her services to me when I was a communications manager back then. And she said to me, look, I'm so old that I've already done all those mistakes that the junior one is only planning to do. That's me today. So it's good to be here. It's good to be have some confidence because it's a different position to sell your services. I'm working with my personal brand, my personal experience. That's what I'm selling. And if I don't believe in myself, then my clients won't either. So based on all these reasons, I think at the age of 42, that was ideal time for me to become entrepreneur. It was a big jump. It's possible to make it happen. But I'm happy that I didn't take the jump any earlier. I'm really also happy that I didn't wait any longer. it was the ideal time. So thanks for listening to me, and thanks for listening to my story. And if there are any questions other than the funny question that he's going to ask me, then please be happy to talk
Only
to me.
funny questions here. Hey, huge round of applause. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I'll take that. Okay. So I was inspired by listening to your story, so I switched up the question a little bit. So it takes true power to listen to yourself, right? And to know when the time is right, and to take risks. At Epicenter, we love superhumans doing super things. So what would you say is your superpower?
My superpower is to make somebody well known, to get somebody to make his or her voice heard.
Awesome. Perfect. Hey,
Thank
one more
you.
round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Are we having fun? Yeah, there's still quesadillas. I'm smelling them. There's wine is open. All right. Last and certainly not least is a 58-year-old entrepreneur who creates new businesses as a mission and functioning ecosystems as a passion. He has practical leadership experience in large multi-corporations, SMEs, and as a founder in startups. His responsibilities have covered almost all aspects of corporate functions: financing and FC strategy, consulting, general management, and especially sales and sales management. Please help me welcome to the stage Harry, as CEO and co-founder of Next Forward. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thanks all. Small change on the perspective, all in all. My professional career started in the dark ages before internet and mobile phones or emails even. We didn't have desktops, so I'm not going to go into that. So maybe the headliner of my presentation here is long way round. Basically I knew from early age already that I'm entrepreneurial by nature. I've always liked doing things myself and coming up ideas and fooling around with friends. Even though I spent the first 10 years or so, 13 years with a major international corporation, i.e. Nokia. But I think entrepreneurship is more of a mindset rather than a profession. So I mean, you can be entrepreneurial even in a major corporation, but of course when you take the leap of faith and you give up the fixed income salary slip that you get from a corporate and you start to depend on your own abilities to launch and get to the revenues and be able to cover your expenses and maybe even pay salaries for your colleagues. That's of course when it all kind of becomes concrete. I started actually my professional career as a entrepreneur. I was car salesman. I was buying and selling used cars, Datsuns and whatnot back in the 80s. But it was maybe the best school ever to selling, because you really learned there to read people, read the situations and understand what is driving and who is actually making the buying decision. It's very often not the man, I can tell you. But I loved it. It was fantastic. But then I went to the university. I funded my studies in the university, in the Helsinki Kauppakorkeakoulu, by selling cars, getting some fixed income basically there on top of the student loans and whatnot. And then after university, I went basically to financing and financing SMEs, and they were not called startups at that time. This was still like early 90s. They were SMEs, small companies, financing those projects around Eastern Europe basically. And it was fantastic, I loved it. But then I was picked up by Nokia, joined Nokia back in 97 and moved abroad. And since then lived for 13, 15 years in all the funny spots of the world, like Russia, Pakistan, China. But again, the learning curves in all those places was very steep. And back then, like until early 2000, Nokia was very entrepreneurial environment. We got vast responsibilities to make decisions, to build business, to manage the business, especially in those locations because they were so off-grid from whatever Nokia was doing in, let's say, civilized world in Western Europe and US. And then we just had to create our own solutions to build the business and keep it running. But then what actually happened was that Nokia Networks and Siemens merged. And at that time I was just in Finland. And then I still remember the sound when the pencils dropped when the deal was announced. And I thought, okay, this is not good. Few friends of me, they called me up and said, hey, we need you here in Dubai, move over here. There's nothing for you to do there in the headquarters. We moved to Dubai, and it was strangest experience ever. It was very much driven by the Siemens, by the German organization, and there were lots of new people coming in and lots of enthusiasm, positivity, and I mean, all these things happening and all the possibilities of the new company. And it was like a massive implosion. People didn't show up. They didn't come there. I mean, there were teams, people assigned to the teams, and the team members never moved in. And those who did, they left. That was really strange. And pretty soon after that, I left there then pretty quickly and came back to Finland and noticed that no, this is a big global corporate. This is not for me. And for the question, what made me want to be an entrepreneur? One picture. I think you know the story behind this. So I couldn't stay there. I mean, it was just so simple and easy. If there were tasks that you were supposed to do, if you didn't want to do them, if it was important, somebody else did it, no worries. If it was not important, nobody did it, and nothing happened. So it was just totally against my work ethic, so I had to leave. I'm always been optimistic and curious, still am, still trying to figure out what I'll be when I grow up. Most likely I'll never come up with a perfect answer to that, but I keep searching. I think that's a good starting point to be and to become an entrepreneur. Be curious. Try to find answers to questions, burning issues that people have, and come up with solutions and build your own future with them. Now, my actual then entrepreneurial journey started in 2010 when I left Nokia. And since then I've been working for small companies, set up startups, been in the boards, been an advisor in a number of companies. And you wanted to hear the raw story also. Now since 2010, I've been fired as a CEO. I've lost thriving business through a acquisition, which I would call a hostile takeover rather. Struggled and failed to find product market fits. Been turned down by countless of financiers, VCs, I don't even remember how many. Gone through bankruptcies and then worked months after months without pay. I mean, you name it, all the shit that can be poured at you. And this is one thing I can guarantee if you get to, and if you are an entrepreneur, shit will hit the fan. That's one guarantee that can be given. But there were also I mean, we did well in many cases. And I wouldn't say that I wouldn't change a day. There are definitely days that I would love to change, but I'm really happy with the choices I made and where I ended up. Especially this entrepreneurial journey, it has really made me grow as a human being and as a leader and as an entrepreneur. Strongly recommend if you are thinking about it. One kind of crucial factor behind the successes there, and then behind coming back after you have been beaten down, it's people. How you treat people and how you work with people, and that is something that I've never compromised with. To the extent that it was also difficult in the Nokia organization because, I mean, corporate politics. But I feel that the biggest successes I've made is with people, as an entrepreneur and as a leader. You treat all people, no matter where they come from, what they do, with trust and respect and integrity. Meaning that you do the right thing also when nobody's watching. And you keep communications proactive and real time. And you never lie. You don't miss important facts from your people. That will pay back handsomely, and it will carry you forward and take you forward when you are ready to try again. And as a leader, as an entrepreneur, my primary responsibility has always been to make sure that the people with whom I work, they have all the tools and means to deliver what we are expecting them to deliver. And it's my task and responsibility to make sure that people enjoy working for us every single day. They love to come to the office or work from home, of course, nowadays. But they love what they do, and they love to do it in exactly that company. A few years back, I mean, we had pretty rough ride with dear friend Nokia. It was kind of darkest times of my entrepreneurial journey. I started running, and a lot. Short runs were extended, and I became an ultra runner. So I've been doing 100-kilometer races. I mean, those are the longest ones so far. And this summer I'm aiming at my first 100-miler in Ylläs, early July. Now you might wonder what the heck does this have to do with entrepreneurship or business in general, but it actually has a lot to do. I've learned through those, especially those races, a lot about myself and entrepreneurship. I didn't have any foresight, obviously, that this would happen when I started running. I just started running to vent my frustrations. And then running started to feel good, and I started to run longer and longer, and that took me to the ultra races. But getting ready for them, it's been like, and racing, it's been better school than any university could be for being an entrepreneur. All about the preparation for launching a company, focus, planning different scenarios to survive, pushing through the valleys of death and pushing through the pain, ignoring the pain, just keep on going and never giving up. If you fall, you stand up. And I've always had a slogan, proudly copied from Nike, just do it. And through these ultra long runs, I've gotten another one, which is never give up. We all are so much more capable of doing things that we ever think of. You just need to push yourself, push through the pain and just do it. I look like 80-year-old man here on the one on the left. But that was after 100 kilometers, and that was one of the happiest moments of my life. First 100-kilometer race, and we had just signed, actually we got the approval from Nokia spin-out committee just for this, for the company of ours, the Next Forward. I'll share a couple of words about that. So we got that. I had just had Corona 2 weeks before of this race, and I was sure that I can't make it to the race because of that, but didn't suffer anything, so I decided to give it a go. So I never forget the moment crossing the line and getting the sign on my hands and the great medal on my neck. I strongly recommend Start exercising if you don't already. Push yourself physically. It helps you when the shit hits the fan in the office. I mean, you are physically more prepared, you are mentally more prepared to take on the shit. Then, and never give up. The other one is from Karhun Kierros race, 86 kilometers. Happy finisher. Then the latest company, long story short, we've been actually doing this for 10 years already. And then we were commercially live back in 2015. This is a cloud-native SaaS solution, white label, B2B2C, sorry, long string here. Our customers are mobile operators across the world. Last time we were live, it was called Forward only. It was Comptel Forward, actually. We were corporate venture under Comptel. And we were live in Bolivia, Nigeria, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, New Zealand, even Finland. And we had a fantastic team. But then Nokia made the acquisition back in 2017 of Comptel. And pretty soon we realized that this is not going to work. Nokia is not going to continue with us, even though the business was good. We had in a couple of years, we had generated annual recurring revenue 1 million plus from pure revenue share from operators. So it worked beautifully. It was very profitable, but big corporates are big corporates. We tried to acquire the business already back then, but then Nokia management was not interested in discussing with us at all. So they wanted to kill the whole thing. The team left Nokia, but we kept close to each other. We had a Slack group, and during these years, since late 2019, we have been discussing all the time, and guys have been asking, hey, is there something that we could do together, because it was great working. And the kind of idea was there, and got a hint that you might want to contact Nokia again. They are back in doing the spin-outs. Try it out, it might work. Quick round with the old team. More than half of them were still keen on coming together if this works out. Same with the old customers. And it took 1 year to negotiate with Nokia the deal. But out of that 1 year, maybe about 1 year was waiting. The effective work time was counted in hours, maybe, that we had to put in. But finally then, last November, 4th of November, we signed the agreement with our initial lead VC and Nokia and relaunched the solution. Or we are actually now rebuilding it. We have not launched it yet, but it will come to the market in June. And we are scaling, building the solution and the team, the operations with the old team. So people above all, we give priority to our old colleagues and recruiting them as we move forward. Next forward. So never give up. Thank you.
Huge round of applause. Thank you so much. Okay, so you know that you know what's coming. A question from me. But this is also probably the most important question of the night.
Whoa.
Sorry, I ask this at every single one of our events because I am on a mission to prove that my way of doing it is the right way and everyone else is wrong. Okay. So when you get up in the morning...
You said that this is not going to be difficult.
when you get up in the morning and you're having your morning breakfast, is it rye bread, ham, cheese, or rye bread, cheese, and ham?
You never put the cheese on top. Never.
Ham on top, right?
Yes.
Yes. Look at the ham on top people here. Okay, we're going to do... Now I have to do a poll. So if you're cheese on top, show of hands. Ham on top.
Ham on top.
It's the only way to do it. Okay. You see, this is winning. One by one, I'm slowly infiltrating the way that we do things here. Hey, thank you. One more round of applause for Harry. Okay, what a great night, huh? We got to hear 4 really great stories. So I want to thank Jalmari, Vetti, Aino, and Hari once again for sharing their inspiring stories and for defying age stereotypes and proving that innovation knows no bounds. Give them a huge round of applause, please. And they're going to stick around, so if you have more detailed questions, please. But, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're a community and a playground for local change makers to come together, to share ideas, to network, and to grow. So there's always something going on here at Epicenter Helsinki. And if you'll give me 2 minutes, I can share what we have going on with the rest of the month. Is that okay? And there'll be QR codes, so I expect phones up and snapping. But okay, so Hired is going to return on May 6th. This is a series that we've been doing once a month where we're taking peeks into various aspects of Finland's talent problem and or talent trends. As we've talked about employer branding, we've looked at Finland's talent problem with attraction and retention. This time we're going to tailor-make an event for HR professionals, team leaders, and decision makers looking to revolutionize their HR management strategies. This engaging discussion will dive into the critical elements of leveraging HR management software to propel your organization towards success. It should be a really fun one. Can I switch? All right, awesome. On May 23rd, we welcome you back into the metaverse. This time we explore marketing in the metaverse. Our esteemed keynote speaker, Colin Brown, who's actually here today, will unravel, give Colin a huge hand. Will unravel the challenges and opportunities that lie within the 3 dominant meta-galaxies, Minecraft, Roblox, and Fortnite, boasting tens of millions of users. So come learn the strategies, trends, and innovations that will shape the future of marketing. Yeah, we're going marketing heavy this month. Okay, that's it. We have one more, but I'm not ready to announce that just yet. So this will be the 2. We may have something fun coming up, but I have enjoyed everyone laughing and being so gracious to our 4 speakers. It truly is not easy to come and share your story in front of everyone, but to have smiling faces like all of your smiling faces are right now, it is exactly what we're doing here at Epicenter Helsinki, right? It's a safe space to ideate, to share ideas, and to grow. So thank you all so much for being here. The bar is going to stay open. And a little thing, you may want to stick around. No, I'm just kidding. It's my birthday on Monday, so we can all drink. I'm using this as my birthday party. So if I walk around, give me an American high five. I'm also a little bit of a hugger, so I'll take a hug too. But thank you all so much for being here. The bar's still open. Enjoy your drinks. And if you want to know more, Harry, our sales manager, is here, and my fantastic colleague, our head of service, Paulina, is there. Thank you so much. Thank you.